Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we're going to try to answer a question for people, because there's a whole lot of people out there saying, do we really need reform? Do we really need this drastic change? Is this whole movement out in the streets, is this even necessary? Is there anything that could maybe shed some light on that? And the answer is yes. There's a study out of the University of Chicago Law School. It took place from 2015 to 2018. Just kind of when it's been released now. What it set out to do was to monitor 20 cities, the 20 largest in the U.S., and those are New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, Phoenix, Philadelphia, San Antonio, San Diego, Dallas, San Jose, Austin, Jacksonville, San Francisco, Columbus, Indianapolis, Fort Worth, Charlotte, Seattle, Denver, and El Paso. Look at them through a few different metrics and try to determine if they were in basic minimum compliance with just standard human rights law. Yeah, we're not looking for anything drastic here. Basic minimum compliance. Very bottom of the barrel here. The name of the study is Deadly Discretion. I highly suggest you take a look at it. It's not a long read. Measured them on four main categories: accountability, proportionality, necessity, and legality. Now, on the first three, accountability, proportionality, and necessity, some of those departments were in compliance by policy, you know. But it's that last one where things got a little weird. Legally, none. Not a single one of those departments is required to maintain compliance with basic norms, with basic standards. None. Now, aside from just going through and saying everything that's wrong, which it does, it also has a whole bunch of recommendations. And the recommendations are the ones you're hearing in the street right now, for the most part. Getting rid of no-knock raids, requiring lethal force to be as a last resort rather than the officer was scared, getting rid of qualified immunity. All of this stuff is on there. If you run across anybody that is questioning whether or not it's really, necessary, if we really do have a problem, this might be a study to have handy, because it's easily digestible. It has a whole bunch of suggestions, and it's pretty clear. The methodology is pretty decent, and it's easy to grasp. This might be the thing that can help sway somebody who just, through whatever privilege, has no clue what dealing with law enforcement might be like for some people. I'll try to get a link and put it down there. At the end of the day, we have a big problem, and it's being highlighted because of a particular group, because they're suffering the most from it in certain aspects, and in other aspects it's a different group, but it's normally not people that look like me. So it seems as though this is something that only applies to them. But the fact that none of these cities are operating under a legal requirement to maintain compliance, that applies to everybody. A lot of people need self-interest. You can hand it to them right there. The recommendations, they're very simple. Everything's laid out really nicely. So it's just something maybe to put in your bookmarks, so when you're talking to people, you have this handy. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good night.